are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. And once again, it is the Barnes and Tony Show. Anthony, how are you, my friends?
I'm doing pretty well. Beautiful day out, sun's out, a little breezy, cool, calm, collect over here. Brian, what about you, dude?
Yeah, great day, busy morning, but just love this weather. This is what it's all about. And I want to say, Tony, if I'm not mistaken, we're about maybe 3 weeks away from the official start of summer.
I guess
it's
June
in June
20.
Yeah.
Is it Father's Day?
Let's get a quick look on that. But I always thought it was funny because I understand, and I'm sure we've talked about it at one point or another. Okay, June 21st, day before Sam's birthday.
Wow.
How, to me, it's always felt like middle to end of May is definitely summer. Like I always think it's
kind of late start. Yeah, dude.
All of June has to be summer. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. 3 weeks into June.
Yeah. So a couple of things, there's a lot to talk about. Of course, but we do have a PGA Tour event starting tomorrow, which we are going to talk about. But before we do that, I just wanted to share this golf story. I think you might get a kick out of it. And I'm just curious
from yesterday
if I'm just crazy. From yesterday. So I had a late tee time. It was like 5 o'clock, and I was running late. So I get there, and it was the course you've played, Gaynor Brennan, and the guy behind the counter was kind of like, I don't know if we get you out for another hour.
Wow.
The course is packed. I don't know about sending you out the back, but he's like, talk to the starter. So I talked to the starter, who I've known for a couple of years. I played around with him. I got paired up randomly. I want to say it was about, a month to 6 weeks ago. Nice guy. And he's like, oh, yeah, if you go pretty quick, we can send you off the back. No problem. The course is pretty packed. So, all right, great. And then, but the guy inside, he's like, yeah, no, based on the time, you're only going to play 9. You're not going to have time for any more. And I always play 18. And it was my fault partly, but I was like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. But usually I'm just like, I know I can finish 18, especially if I'm playing by myself. I can push it. I can play pretty quickly.
Right.
So I actually, by myself, I don't think I actually passed. Oh, no, I did. Okay, I did pass one group, but and I played with myself literally an hour, the back 9, ripped right through it. So I'm like, well, it's like 6:10. It doesn't get dark. I'm going to play the back 9. And so I think once you pay, then the guy leaves or he's not like paying attention. But the starter was out there that I know. So I just figured, all right, I don't want to think I'm trying to like get away with not paying for 18. And it's like the rate's the same for the golf. It's just the cart. I think it's only an extra $5, whatever.
Right.
But I'm like, yeah, he told me, I'm not going to have time for 9, but like there's plenty of time. So I'd like to finish the 18, but I think he charged me for 9. And I expected him to be like, oh yeah, you just, go in there. We'll charge you for the rest. But he was just kind of like, oh, well, with the cart, it's you're only charged for 9. So, the golf is fine. Like basically alluding to like a walk. And I'm like, oh, well, I always play 18. He just told me I'd only have time for 9. I'd like to pay for more, but I'm guessing it was like maybe the register inside was closed out, but the starter's working. But I just like, I'm there all the time. Like, why can't I just like next time you can charge me more or whatever? And he's just like, oh, just play a couple holes. But the way he said it, I thought he was saying like, quote unquote, just play a couple of holes, but like meaning he just doesn't want to get in trouble. But like, obviously he's going to let me just play the 9.
Yeah.
And I'm out there, I'm playing. I see him a couple times. I wave at him. And it's funny too, because he has this accent. Very nice guy too.
Accent from where?
He's got to be English or Australian. And I'm going to probably botch it the way I'm impersonating him. But I want to say it's the 18th, my 18th hole, but I started on the back, so technically it's number 9. And you probably don't remember this, but it's the like very short par 3. It's right next to the clubhouse, and it's downhill. There's a little pond right there. So I'm sitting on the tee box, and at first I think he's kidding, and he goes up to me and he's like, what happened to a couple holes like that? And
Yeah.
I figured like he's like joking, like, and he's like dead serious. And I'm just like, oh, I was like playing really well on the front, and like I'm not gonna break my career low, but like I can at least match it. And
Right.
then he's just like, then he just goes into explaining, yeah, the golf is the same price, but the car, that's Mo. That's why. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry about that. My mistake. Thank you. I appreciate it. And then I tried like small talking with him like before I left, and he just seemed like kind of tight. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, maybe it's my fault. I just assumed that's what he was saying, because like at the end of the day, what would be the difference between me playing a couple holes in the whole front nine? Like I don't understand it. And is it I mean, I know he didn't say it, but could you somewhat get why? I know the guy, especially, that I would assume that he's saying that just to cover himself, but he doesn't care.
Yeah, I would have thought the same thing, especially because you're always there, dude.
Right,
Like,
exactly. Like, and he knows me, and it's like it's not hurting him. And the fact, and I just know too, if I didn't say anything, he wouldn't even have known, because they have so many golfers. So he wouldn't have known that I only had paid for 9. It's like I wanted to pay for the rest, so it's like I don't know. Then I felt kind of bad because like he's a nice guy and everything.
I don't feel bad, dude.
But it's funny too, because the same thing actually happened with Matt when we played, because he had that reception that time. We had to move it up.
Yeah.
So I told him, oh, he's only going to play 9, and then we played real quick, so we had time to play 18. And the guy like I was about to go and tell them, oh, we're going to play for 18, and the random guy we're playing with, the guy Ray, I think Matt mentioned in the comments, he goes, oh, don't go in there. The city makes so much money. Don't go in there. And we did it, and it was fine. But it's like, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, here I am. I'm being honest with the guy. And then, like, I don't know. Is there something I'm missing, Tony?
I don't think so, dude. I mean, I wasn't there, but I mean, again, like, you said you're always there. You're friendly with the guy. Like, they're running a business. You're a avid customer here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course. It's going to be like, yeah, don't worry. Like, it's like you're not going to be back there ever again. You're trying to schmooze him.
Right. Exactly. So I think, too, maybe he's just one of those guys who's very, like,
by the book.
Exactly. And just is concerned about getting in trouble. That's kind of what my thought is.
Yeah, I guess
but
so.
I don't know. I thought it was funny. But
you going back there today?
No, not today. But I was able to match the career low, 83 again.
That's sick.
And it was so annoying. Ample opportunity to beat that. Just a couple things here and there. But I guess overall, got to be happy with the body of work, Tony. Right?
Yeah, you really do, dude. I mean, come on.
It's golf season.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we do have the PGA Tour returning to Fort Worth, Texas this week at Colonial Country Club for the Charles Schwab Invitational. And this is a place where the tour has been playing for a very, very long time. It's actually the 76th time they will have a PGA Tour event at Colonial Country Club, making it the longest running non-major on tour to be contested at the same course. One of the shorter tracks on the PGA Tour, par 70 and only 72.09. I mean, I've played courses that are longer than that.
Wow.
So one of those things where it's not about distance. It's about precision. It's about accuracy. And that's why Kevin Na historically had always played well here. I think he won, I want to say, in like 2019, obviously on the Live Tour now, not playing there. So, guys that are good with their short games definitely perform well here. You look at a course record, 2010, Zach Johnson for the 4 days had a sum of 259. Zach Johnson, another guy, not a long ball hitter. And then the 18-hole record, Keith Clearwater, a 61, also was tied by Lee Jansen, Greg Kraft, Kenny Perry, Justin Leonard, Chad Campbell, and then Kevin Na, like I had spoke about. So, needless to say, this is an event where we're going to have some low scores. Yeah. Guys are going to be making eagles, making birdies. Sam Burns, the defending champion here last year, defeated Scotty Scheffler in a playoff. And looking at, who we have in the field here, not a full field, but not terrible. I mean, there's definitely some notable names here. So you got Scotty Scheffler, Tony Finau, Jordan Spieth, Victor Hovland, Sungjae Im, Tommy Fleetwood, Cam Davis, defending champion, like I mentioned, Sam Burns, Justin Rose, Max Homa, Ryan Palmer, Ricky Fowler, Emmanuel Grillo, Colin Morikawa, Kurt Kitayama, as well as Chris Kirk, who won at the Honda earlier this year and won this tournament back in 2015. Ryan Fox, Minwoo Lee, Siwoo Kim, Tony, and the star of this past week's PGA Championship, Michael Block.
Wow, dude, Michael Block.
So many different directions to go. It's tough. It's like, how do you cap this one?
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go back to a guy who I've picked in the past, actually. Who did pretty well at the PGA Championship. I'm gonna go with Victor Hovland.
Wow.
Wow. He tied second with Scheffler, right, for the PGA Championship.
No, Brooks. Oh, no. Right. Okay, no, I'm thinking that. I got you. Yeah, he did tie with Scheffler. Okay, yeah. You correcting me, Tony. That's a rarity for golf.
Oh, dude. Well, anyway, you mentioned how it's kind of a shorter course. Victor Hovland certainly has worked on his iron work. And when his putts are on, they are lethal. So I think, given a good performance too at the PGA, I think he can get this one in the bag, dude.
And there's a second question here for you, and I'll give my prediction on this. Michael Block finishes where?
I don't know. I'll give him like a top 15 finish.
Wow, which would be back to back, and I would imagine that would get him invites into more tournaments. So
it's a tremendous story, dude.
Yeah. All right, so we'll see if he could do that. I'm a little torn here, but just looking at this, I feel like I have like a pattern of guys that I pick and they just don't seem to win. Other than Brooks last week. No, but I mean, other than that, Tony, I've been cold turkey. Honestly. Yeah. I really haven't been able to pick anything. And I feel like because it's in Texas, I want to take Jordan Spieth, but I think the smarter play, even in the short game, works well, but I just feel like he never wins. Tony. Yeah. He never wins.
Never does.
But a guy who wins, the guy who's from Texas, give me Scotty Scheffler.
Wow, dude.
Just like Hovland coming off that top two.
Yeah.
So I think it makes a lot of sense. And I'm torn on Block here. I do think we've gotten to a point, and rightfully so, where the expectations are rising very much for him. So usually when that happens, sometimes it's tough to match those. So I'm going to say he makes the cut, but I'm going to say he's going to finish 36th.
Oh, really?
But I mean, if you told him 2 weeks ago that he would finish 15th at the PGA and then 36th at Colonial, I think you would take it any day of the week.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I really do feel like this is a course that me and you could, maybe break 100.
Really?
7,200 yards. I'm sure the greens aren't the easiest, but I mean, just lengthwise, usually these courses are so much further than what we're used to playing.
I'll take a flight down.
Yeah, why not? Fort Worth. I mean, I'm mad. That's definitely near Dallas, right? Because I think their airport is called the Fort Worth Dallas Airport, I believe.
Is it?
Let's do what do we got for Fort Worth here?
Let's look at them on the map here. Fort Worth, yeah. Dallas is right over there.
Okay, so I think
to the west of Dallas.
I think they call it like the Fort Worth or Greater Dallas Fort Worth area or something. Haven't you heard something?
I have not. I haven't.
Well, I guess because you were in Austin though.
Yeah,
that was the only time you were in Texas.
Only time.
And I know we talked about this, but you really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, dude. It was a crazy time.
I think what would be crazy, and I know that, we're not college fans here, but if we did go down there for a Texas football game, vlogged it, I mean, it would be insane.
Dude, I would love to. We went to the campus and everything. We walked on it. Obviously, this was like in April, right? Yeah. So, you couldn't really go to the stadium, but we went on one of the parking garages where you can kind of see inside, dude. Fucking massive stadium. And then, unbelievable.
Remember, I was in the stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was, I guess that was March. But yeah, ridiculous. And it's nice too. It's one of those stadiums, kind of like Green Bay in a sense, where the original bones are in place, but then they built around it with newer things. So
yeah, it's sick. Dude, the campus is unbelievable.
yeah. So I think we could get Michael on board for that.
Yeah, I think so.
Camera in hand.
Oh yeah, he loves Texas.
Oh yeah. Definitely. So we'll I think in the future we'll have to do that. Because I've just never been to a big college football game. I've just been to UConn, Fordham.
Right.
I think that's it actually. Hey,
Providence?
what about
Providence
they don't
football?
have football.
Really?
No. They used to back in like the 60s, I think. What about you? Is it just Sacred Heart or
Yeah,
Hofstra?
basically.
No? Back in the day?
Hofstra.
They used to have a football team. They got rid of it.
No, I'd never.
UConn.
College. Yeah, I guess really just Sacred Heart.
Well, how's it turn out for those games?
I mean, for the most part, not great.
Uh-huh.
But homecoming is always like there's no room to even be in there.
In the field there, is it just the metal bleachers on both sides, or
Yeah,
so it's like a high school stadium? Yeah.
It's not a stadium at all.
Right.
A field.
It's a field.
Yeah.
But homecoming must have been crazy, no?
Yeah, they do it well. They have like a beer tent in like one of the end zones, and stuff like that. And then obviously, they serve alcohol around there, which is like they don't always do that. And of course, the stands are always packed and stuff like that. So homecoming is fun.
Is there usually over or under 5 arrests during the homecoming?
Oh God, I don't think anyone
right on the number,
dude. It's a push.
I mean, people get rowdy at football games, but I guess it's Sacred Heart. Like it's
yeah. I mean, what are they gonna do? They're gonna arrest anyone.
Is the program any good? Like, have they had any success recently?
Yeah, dude. I feel like this season, I don't think I forget what they did this past season, but the season before they actually had a tie for the conference championship with Central. And then the year before that, they won. And then when I was an undergrad, they won like every other year. So they're a great program. They are a good program.
And played in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like probably lost in the first round or something.
Yeah, every time.
But it's tough to get into that, honestly.
Yeah, dude.
So yeah. Well, yeah, and it makes sense that the stadium's like that because they're lower Division I, not the FCS.
And we've had some good players. There's one guy, I forget his name now. But he's in with the Titans organization right now. He's running back.
Oh yeah, I know you. Yeah, you mentioned that to me a while ago.
Yeah.
We'll find it.
Yeah, we'll get on it.
But so much to get to here. Let's go to the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it! Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right.
All right.
So what a night for the New York Yankees last night. An exciting 6-5 victory at the hands of the Baltimore Orioles, a game that went into extra innings and a game that featured a lot of back and forth, grinding it out, big hits, big homers. So as we know, we had the pitching matchup between Kyle Bradish and Garrett Cole. To my surprise, Cole definitely struggled. The final line, 5 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, 2 home runs allowed. Getting the no decision. And what happened? And I'm just trying to see too. Did they give him? I guess they didn't give him. They didn't give him an error, but Aaron Judge, first inning, there were 2 outs. Ball hit the right field. Kind of one of those. He's got to jump up, stretch his body to catch it.
Right.
A liner that maybe he's rising a little bit, hits off his glove. That allows 2 runs to score. So already first inning, you start in the hole.
Right.
The first 3 innings, Yankee offense doesn't do anything. Cedric Mullins taking Cole deep in the third to right center, 373. So that made it 3-0 Orioles. And then you also had Gunnar Henderson, the young shortstop third baseman, who they expect big things of. Homer to center, 404 feet. So 4-0 Orioles after 3.5 innings. So it's like, oh man, we've had all these good feelings. We get 1 off day. And then it's like, are we going back to the same old thing here? Fortunately, guys who have came up big answered in a big way. Harrison Bader starting out the scoring with a homer to right center, 370 feet, made it 4-1. onto the 5th inning. Rizzo with a double, which scored Oswaldo Cabrera, that made it 4-2. LeMahieu with a single, which scored Gleyber Torres, that made it 4-3. And then Harrison Bader hits a sac fly, score Anthony Rizzo, that made it 4-4. And then it was into the bullpens. Marinaccio comes in to relieve Cole, who had walked the first 2 batters of that inning. He allows 1 hit, which he does allow a hit, but he ground out from Varva, scored Ryan Mountcastle. So that actually gave Baltimore a 5-4 lead. Fortunately for the Yankees, the bullpen did its job once again. You look at it, that run charged to Cole. So they end up giving them a combined 5 innings, 1 hit, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts between Marinaccio, Peralta, and King. So Yankee offense, though, still looking for that 1 run to tie this game at 5. Aaron Judge, with 1 out, 2 strikes on him, gets a splitter from Felix Bautista, taking it to left center, 403 feet, one of those no doubters. So that tied the game at 5. Huge home run by Judge, because this Yankee offense, they had a couple hits in the previous 2 innings off of Cano, but then we're not able to push anything across. And we had talked about how he had kind of came out of nowhere here. I believe it's Yennier Cano. So I had said to you, 0.35 ERA in what is it? I don't know why this isn't. I want to say it's 27 innings. I'm just going to double check this. 25 and 2/3 innings. He has 28 strikeouts, 0.35 ERA. I mean, so they've really found something here. The 29-year-old from
pretty
Cuba.
Crazy.
Yankees had chances, couldn't get the running. Gleyber Torres gunned down at home.
Nice.
But, luckily.
Oh, my God, dude. Yeah, that was the bunt, right?
Yeah, LeMahieu trying to bunt twice.
What's the deal with that?
He's not exactly locked in right now. So I think he was just really trying to. His average is around 250.
Yeah.
I mean, for Diego LeMahieu, not a power guy. I mean, you want at least 275, 280. So I think he was just trying to help the team out, just get that run across. This was a tough game, battling back, but that didn't work out. But fortunately for the Yankees, what did work out was the 10th inning. So Michael King had pitched the 9th and then had a dominant 10th inning where he struck out the first 2 batters, induced a little line out to Anthony Volpe. One of those he had to jump up for, but obviously we know about his athletic ability. Yeah. So would have scored a run, obviously, if it had gotten through with 2 outs there. So, anytime you're the home team, you prevent the away team from scoring any runs in the top of that inning. It really bodes well for you. So you actually, were able to walk this one off without even getting a hit. So you had IKF pinch running for LeMahieu, and then Harrison Bader grounded out, advanced IKF to third, and then you had an intentional walk given to Willie Calhoun to set up the double play. In comes Anthony Volpe, first pitch against Brian Baker, deep sac fly to center field, scoring the run, walking off for the Yankees. And one of those, he knew it right away as soon as he hit it, celebrating. What a moment for Anthony Volpe, still finding his way. The power numbers have been there, but looking for a little higher with the contact. But nice to see him walk this one off for the Yankees, who are on a roll here. Their 5th straight win. Are now 30-20 on the season, and they were at jeopardy at one point of falling to under 500. So a game that you won a different way than you expected to. You thought Cole would really shut down this Baltimore offense, and you'd be able to score what you want against Bradish, which you did, but you really had to fight tooth and nail to win this game. But it was huge because, and I was texting Matt about this, he couldn't believe the score, that the Rays lost 20-1 to Toronto yesterday.
Dude, crazy.
So with that loss by Tampa, we are now only 5 games behind them, and sitting in third, 2 games behind Baltimore. Both the Blue Jays and the Red Sox are now 8.5 games back. So the division, the course, the trajectory of that has changed very much so. Yankees on just such a roll, 5 in a row, 8 out of 10. And the one thing that I like, and I was saying this, I think to Matt and a couple of my other friends that are Yankee fans, you just love that the game is never over. They're battling back, and it's not one guy. Of course, Aaron Judge is hitting out of his mind right now, but we've seen Rizzo step up. Obviously, Volpe had the walk-off hit. Bader's been on fire. So just all different guys contributing. That's how you play winning baseball. And then the fact too that sooner rather than later you're going to get Stanton back, you're going to get Canely back. That's only going to improve this team. Rodon supposedly is going to start a throwing program soon. So even if we could just have him for the second half of the season, that's a big boost. And I have to say, I did not expect to feel the way I feel right now, the way things were going with the lack of offense. All of a sudden, we have one of the best offenses in the leagues, hitting home runs at will, and just getting production from everybody. And I think it really, bodes well moving forward. And I think too, the fact that, I mentioned LeMahieu, average sitting at 250. So he's not producing at the level you expect him to yet. As well, the Cabrera is only hitting 204, but we have seen signs of life out of him recently. And Gleyber Torres, 7 homers, 22 RBIs, 258. You expect a little more out of him.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you got also Redvort, who's filling in, for Trevino, and he's had, he's 2 for 4 in his 4 at bats. So he could be somebody that could help produce. So you just feel good about the lineup. I mentioned Volpe as well. You'd imagine the hits are going to start coming in bunches for him. So all in all, just a great night for the Yankees. And, they look to take, game 2 tonight. And that would be, their 6th win in a row. Obviously, that would be the season high. So, I had mentioned when they were going through the slump that they were that, let's rip off 5, 6, maybe even 10 in a row. That's how you make up ground. And they hadn't been able to do that. It was a lot of win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win 2, lose 2, that type of thing. So this is the first extended stretch we've seen them out of them this year. Tonight, you're going to get Tyler Wells versus Nestor Cortez. You look at Wells, he's actually pitching pretty well this season. 3-1, 2.94 ERA. Nestor with the ERA still over 5, but did give them 6 quality innings last time out. So you feel like, he's going to pitch well again. And he always loves pitching in front of, this Yankee Stadium crowd. I think it does really energize him. So you feel really good about the position that you're in here, and to, win tonight would clinch another series. And then you would be on to, the weekend series with the Padres. So, things are in a good place right now. And you just want to continue that upwards trajectory. Before we get to the Mets, though, Tony, we do have a lot of comments to catch up on too.
Yes, we do. Let's see. Going back to the beginning here, you have Matthew coming in hot and early. How are you? Look at you. Prefer coming in says, is Aaron Judge the best player of all time?
I mean, I've always said it. No, but I know, Tony, I get it. He's my favorite player. He's the most talented player I've ever seen. But of course, production wise, he's the trajectory is clearly a Hall of Fame trajectory. And baseball's a little different. But of course, to keep climbing up that ladder of all time greats, you got to get a title. You hope that one is around the corner. The opportunity is going to be there. So definitely has an opportunity to land on the Mount Rushmore, of baseball players of all time. And it doesn't hurt that he's going to be a Yankee the rest of his career. That stadium is clearly tailor-made for his swing.
Yeah.
So we will see.
No, yeah, very true. And we'll get to the rest of Prefer. Actually, no, I prefer another comment here. He says June 21st is when the Yankees will take first place in the AL East.
That's how you know summer's starting.
First day of summer. Great birthday gift for Sam.
Yeah, there you go.
And we'll get to his other comments in regards to the Mets. So we'll hit them when we get to the Mets. Matt pumped for the win last night. Says big win, needed that. The kid named Anthony, just like DTV Anthony. Only difference is the mustache. And then he says, but for real, Volpe is clutch. Love to see it. The young lad coming up big and securing the W.
100%.
100%,
He's
dude.
riled up. We were texting about it before.
No, yeah, and it is great to see again, like the guys coming up, to the organization. He's been a lifelong Yankees fan. He's from New York. Like it really is like it's another like tremendous story, just like your Michael Block story.
Exactly.
It really is
Exactly.
like it's like a kid's dream like coming true, and he's succeeding, doing well for the Mets, for the Yankees rather. Speaking of the Mets, though, they did drop game 1 at Wrigley against the Cubs here, 7-2, and it was definitely kind of a tough loss. Obviously, you were talking about the Yankees being on a roll. Obviously the Mets were on a roll, winning 5 in a row here, doing well against Tampa, doing well against Cleveland, sweeping them. So, you're coming in, Tyler McGill on the mound here. The Mets decide to give Senga that extra day of rest to kind of mimic, what his schedule was like when he was playing overseas. So McGill gets the start here, and again, I don't want to talk a broken record, but coming into this game, I was saying, Mets give up a lot of runs in the first inning. Let's try to keep it clean. And McGill does exactly that. He has actually a great first inning, doesn't really throw a lot of pitches. So you start feeling good. You're like, all right, McGill came in ready to go. He's looking pretty sharp. He was actually, he was throwing his fastball, mixing pitches up really well, slider, his curveball as well as changeup. And had a great first inning. And then second inning, very first pitch, fastball at the belt, Suzuki at the plate, takes it deep, 414 feet to make it 1-0 in the second. So, it's like, you as a Met fan, I'm like, yeah, this is great. First inning, didn't give up anything. And dude, second inning, first pitch, it's like,
what was the problem though? Location? I mean, pitch
the
selection.
location of that fastball was pretty piss poor. It was just like over the middle of the plate, like at his belt. And speaking of McGill, his final line, he only lasted 3 2/3, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks. We'll get into the rest of the scoring, but in my opinion, I don't know. Again, you look at his last start. I think it was against the Rays. Probably one of his greatest pitches that he used against the Rays was a slider.
Mhm.
It had great movement on it. Sharp movement too. Looked like it was kind of coming in straight, and then all of a sudden it would just go like far, would go low and outside, whatever, causing a lot of swing and misses. And I don't know. I feel like watching him in these first 3 innings, he was barely throwing his slider. He was throwing a lot of changeups. Which again, I think he had a couple of strikeouts off the changeup, but still, it's like, if your slider is working so well, and he doesn't, I think he throws a changeup like 8% of the time typically. I think it's either his changeup or his curveball. They're both lower percentage in terms of what he's throwing. So I don't know. I was kind of surprised at that. Maybe he just didn't trust his slider, and warmups just didn't have that movement. But so I think maybe that just threw him for a little bit of a whirl, because all his pitches honestly seemed a little bit like he was struggling with its control. A lot of pitches were just way outside, way outside. And we saw it, Gary Sanchez behind the plate. You see him, he's like kind of, he's framing up something like low and inside, and it goes low and outside, like way outside. And, you saw a pass ball off of Sanchez because of that too. We can get to Sanchez in a little bit, but that second inning, just not good. Kind of a little bit of implosion. The Cubs ended up scoring 4 runs that second inning, one of which was on a Gomes infield single. And I think I'm trying to remember this. Yeah, that RBI, it was like such a weird bloop hit. I don't know, maybe 10 feet in front of Beatty, and Beatty did a phenomenal job of charging it and caught it really well off a hop. But for some reason, I don't know, he just didn't throw. He didn't make the throw to first, and he had time. Gomes isn't a fast runner. And that was a 2-out hit too. So it was again, if Beatty makes that play at third, McGill gets out of that inning. We're just giving up the solo shot.
Right.
Instead, they stay in the inning here. They score on a 2-out single, and then right after that, Mervis hits a home run. Of course, scoring Gomes, who's on base. So just like that, it's 4-0. So a little bit of poor defense behind McGill, you could argue too. So obviously, even though it wasn't the first inning, it was the second inning. So still not a great start here for the Mets, but top of the fourth here. I want to say this is the first pitch of the at bat too. Alonso hits an absolute bomb of a home run, 434 feet, 18th of the season. Obviously still, in the lead in terms of, leading the league in home runs. And that, was a solo shot. So it was 4-1. And it, that obviously was good because you're thinking, the bench was pretty riled. Alonso was riled, obviously. Like you got your power bat, trying to hype someone up, get something going. But then bottom of the fourth, McGill goes out there again and he, gives up, I think it was a hit to Talkman, and I think Mervis was walked, I think.
How was Talkman looking?
Pretty good, actually.
Really?
Yeah, he looks like fit.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. He had that really good run with the Yankees, and then he couldn't hit for anything. After he was traded for Wandy Peralta.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. I don't know. I guess a lot of times too, certain team, whether it's the hitting coach or just an overall team philosophy spot in the lineup, it seems like it just regenerates guys that we've seen have ability before after really struggling.
Yeah, true. And I mean, you can get into too, like being a Yankee obviously is a little bit tougher playing for them. Obviously the Cubs too, but still. And then moving on again, that bottom of the fourth, I mean, this is when McGill gets plucked, but obviously not after another RBI still give it up from Dansby Swanson, making it 6-1 now. And then, from there, I mean, it really wasn't anything else good. I mean, the Mets just couldn't score. Top of the sixth, you had Alonso bring another run on a ground. He grounded into a fielder's choice to third. Nimmo ends up scoring. And they just got Escobar out at third. That was kind of tough because sixth inning was when bases were loaded. I think Alonso was up, bases were loaded. There were no outs, dude. Bases loaded. They come away with one run. Again, Alonso is up. They really painted. I think Smiley gets pulled by then. So, Alonso's facing the bullpen guy, fresh legs guy. In I think it's Jose Estrada. I think it's his name, Jeremiah Estrada. And it's like, of course, again, like obviously Alonso has a lot of, expectation and everything. Hits a grand slam against Cleveland too. So it was kind of tough to see him just get an RBI single, which is still great. But then again, like you had two other outs to work with and you couldn't score anything else, dude. Like the table was set for you for another comeback and you just couldn't do it this time, which is really tough. You look at the rest of the lineup. Nimmo did a great job in getting on base. He was 3 for 4 last night. First inning, leadoff double. It's exactly how you want to start an inning. But then, the Escobar gets out, Lindor gets out. I think, and then I think Alonso struck out. I think after that too. Escobar went 1 for 3. He started at second, by the way. Lindor 0 for 3 at short. He had no offense, coming off of a really hot series against the Indians, so he kind of cooled off this game. And we know what Alonso did. Vientos was at DH. He was 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He was getting pretty frustrated at the plate. Swinging at pitches out of the strike zone. And you could tell on his face, too. Like, the second he starts to swing, he knows he shouldn't be swinging. But he swings through, strikes out. He's angry. He's yelling. And so Vientos seemingly getting a little frustrated right now. Marte, nothing to show, 0 for 4. Brett Beatty was 0 for 4. Tommy Pham was 1 for 4. Bobbled the ball in left field, too, I think in the second inning, actually. Literally, like, I wouldn't say routine because he was running onto the ball, but literally, like, in his glove, pops right out.
I heard about that, actually.
And it's just like, what are you doing, dude? And then even so, he was the last out of the game, too. And he singled to he was a ground ball to third. I think Swanson maybe picked it up. And Swanson, like, bobbles it. And he still gets thrown out at first base. And it's like,
jogging,
dude. Yeah. Honestly, like, when they cut to the shot, obviously the wide shot of him, it looked like he was sprinting. So either at first he wasn't digging it out, or his just speed is so low. Not what obviously he's used to, as he's getting high up there in age. And of course, Gary Sanchez 0 for 3 with the pass ball. He was kind of looking like shit, honestly, behind the plate catching. I really don't know why he was starting.
They're talking about that again. Like, why wouldn't you just start him at DH?
Yeah.
Off day, Alvarez on fire. Best hitting catcher the past 2 weeks in the majors.
Literally.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you didn't start him. I don't know why you started Gary Sanchez. And again, like, Vientos is kind of struggling a little bit. So yeah, like, sure, put Sanchez at DH, dude.
Right.
Tommy
Right.
Pham has got to go in left field. He's got to get
Oh,
out.
just off the team.
Off the team, dude.
Yeah.
So does Mark Canha, in my
Pham
opinion,
or
too.
Vogelback?
Oh, God, I guess Pham.
Like Pham off, you're saying?
Oh, you mean like
yeah.
no.
So you'd rather get rid
I'd
of
rather
Vogelback.
have Pham because he can play the field.
Yeah.
Like Vogelback can.
And
so,
I think this is a good time to bring in Alfred. Actually has some comments for us.
Oh, nice. Alfred here says, do the Mets even need Pham? What are they doing? Guy can't even catch a fly ball. And he's totally right. I mean,
Aaron Hicks.
They don't need. Well, unfortunately, they kind of do need him a little bit.
Should they pick up Hicks instead? Swap him out?
Come on, dude.
We saw him hit that home run at Yankee
I
Stadium.
don't think so.
Switch hitter.
I don't know. I'd rather honestly have Pham at that point because we've seen him steal some bags this season.
No, Hicks
so
isn't embarrassing. Tauchman, maybe swing a trade.
And he says like, what does Tommy Pham even do for the New York Mets?
Mhm,
What are we doing, dude?
We've talked about this for so long. When you have guys, it's like they're literally awful, and it's like doesn't matter who the internal option is.
Right.
It's just guaranteed that it's better than what you have.
I know. I mean, it really is. I know it's so tough. I mean, you would imagine maybe there's someone else they could bring up or something, and just DFA Pham, DFA Vogelback,
right?
And then like maybe bring a young guy in. You have Canha come off the bench for left field, for the outfielder if you need. And honestly, like, I mean, Marte isn't that great in the outfield either. Like our outfielders suck. Dude.
And wasn't it like, I don't know if it was like 2 games ago or something, he had his first extra base hit in like a month.
Yeah. It's not good, dude. It's nothing good in our outfield right now. Again, like, I mean, I don't know. It's so tough because you really don't want to mess with Beatty at third. Like, and obviously you want McNeil at second too.
And or a minor league deal. Why not?
Honestly, at that point, why not? There's got to be someone around the league you can try and snag.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure he was DFA'd again, and no one's picked him up. I just kind of want to check that out.
Actually. I honestly should have got Michael Conforto.
Yeah. No, why not?
Why not, dude? And we have a few comments too. A couple more from Buffer in regards to the Mets. He says Gary Sanchez had a horrible game last night. Too many pass balls. Dropped an easy pop up and went 0 for 3. Yeah, so he wasn't generating anything. And the pass balls. Again, I understand McGill. Like, I'll give it to Sanchez. You're framing the pitch up to the inside of the plate, and he's throwing you way outside, right? But the guy is just fucking lazy, in my opinion. Like, every time he just like he doesn't like. Again, like you see, catchers who just like jolt to that side, get their chest in front of it, keep their glove down. Instead, he's reaching out with his arm. Like he's being lazy. Is what he is, dude.
Right.
So it's really annoying, dude. And then Buffer also said. Check out the first games of Cubs. Christopher Morel stats in his first 12 games. He had 367 average, 9 home runs, 15 RBIs. I think he had 17 RBIs, or maybe it's 17 RBIs in like his first 15 games or something like that.
And it's 5 straight games with a homer.
5 straight games with a homer. 8th straight game with an extra base hit. I think he's the first Cub to do that since Mark DeRosa in 08, they said.
Your boy.
I love Mark DeRosa. But yeah, so obviously, the Mets could handle the comeback. Not a great start to, your series against the Cubs. Alfred saying lazy is the right word. And honestly, there's just no, there's no reason why have him out there when you have Alvarez. Like, there's really no reason at all. And it sucks because I'm seeing a lot of things on Twitter, out there in the ethos saying that, Alvarez could potentially still be an option to put, to bring him back down to the minors. And a lot of people, I guess, obviously, reporters get word of this and they're asking players about it around the clubhouse, and everyone around the clubhouse is saying how they would be really angry if they did that.
Who do you think would be more angry, the fans or the players?
Gosh, that's a good question. I probably the fans, honestly.
No, I mean, that's BS.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been struggling hitting. You have a guy who's on fire, and then we're gonna send him down for guys that shouldn't even be guaranteed a spot in a major league roster.
No, really,
are you
dude.
Kidding?
It's kind of ridiculous, dude. But first saying Buck is showcasing Sanchez and Pham before they cut them. They really do need to just cut them. Buck's birthday yesterday, by the way.
Boy, Buck, I feel like you're basically almost done with Buck at this point.
I mean, it's getting pretty close, dude. I mean, again, the lineup you're putting out there, what? Again, I don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
Right.
But it's I don't know, dude. I mean, the lineup isn't good here.
And I'm kind of curious, Al, if you're still with us, would you can Buck if it was up to you? I'm just kind of curious what he's going to say. Well, and you too, Buffer. What do you think Prefer is going to say?
I don't think he would can Buck.
No, really. All right. I guess we'll have to find out, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a frustrating game to come off of for sure.
Oh yeah, dude.
Now is it Senga tonight?
Senga is tonight dude.
Versus
it should be fucking why can't I think of his name right now? Stroman.
Oh, okay. So I mean that's a
Double check
spot.
Yeah, Marcus Stroman. So I mean, all right, dude. I mean, I guess again, like you're trying to be hyped for it.
Allergies again. Clarendon?
Allegra.
Allegra.
I just got wind of something in my nose. It was crazy, dude. It hurt.
Did you take it this morning though, or no?
Of course.
Oh, it's
a
everyday thing, and it doesn't no fatigue.
Non-drowsy, dude. Yeah, that's why I like it.
We got Al's response here.
All right, let's see. We have 3 comments here. Al says, "Can't Buck. Who's the better option?" I mean, he's not wrong at this
Who's
point.
the bench coach?
Someone does need to step up and say something to him, whether it's Epler or Cohen.
Very true.
Eric Chavez.
I'm telling you, Tony. That's how you get the team to rally.
Yeah.
No?
No, yeah, I guess.
I just feel like if he can't be set on Vogelback, Sanchez, Pham all getting big playing time. Like, for what reason?
I don't know, dude. I mean, I gotta putting Pham in the outfield, like, what else are you gonna do, honestly? Connor's not doing well. So it's like, at least he's doing something.
But also then, I know you say you don't want to mess with Beatty. Mess with Beatty, though. Because if you have no good options there, that's only going to help you out.
Yeah.
So you put Vientos at third.
Honestly, dude, I would keep Vientos at DH and bring up Mauricio.
Oh, but
dude, the guy has like 20 doubles in AAA this season. He's been killing it. So I would definitely bring up Mauricio. I mean, I feel like, and then I feel like, dude, and then on top of that, you have 4 rookies coming up. Like, you could, dude, it would be so sick. It'd be just so sick, dude.
What else we got here?
Alfred says maybe Lindor has to step up and say something, but even Lindor is hitting below average. So what would his word mean?
And it's interesting how the pendulum has swung with Lindor. It was trending upward before the season started, and now still the overall sum is way less than what you and Al and all and Prefer and all Mets fans expected coming into this.
Yeah. I mean, you look at some of Lindor's stats here. He has 190 at bats. He's 44 hits. Let's see, dude, 15 doubles, 33 RBIs. Again, killing it on the RBI situation, but only 7 home runs. Has struck out 49 times, 4 stolen bases. An average of 232. It's not what you want from him. But again, I mean, you looked at what he did against the Guardians, excuse me. He fucking hammered the Guardians, dude. Like, he killed it. So you kind of expected to see that again against the Cubs here. So I don't know, maybe he'll bring it up. Alfred says half of Mauricio's 60+ hits are extra base hits. Dude, the man's raking in the minors. He's killing it. So I would bring him up, honestly, and just to shake things up. And dude, like, you really, they're saying, you don't need Vogelback, you don't need Pham,
and like I've been saying all along, let the young guys take the lumps. It doesn't matter how Vientos is struggling, or if Alvarez goes inside, just keep putting them out there. It's not that difficult. You're
playing the Cubs too. They're not a great team.
Yeah, that should be an opportunity for these guys to make their mark.
Yeah.
So Prefer also said that canning Buck wasn't an option.
Yeah.
Interesting though. I don't know. I mean, I know it's. I just feel like sometimes I have a sense with these things. Like, remember? I mean, maybe first month of the season with the Rangers, I was saying, Gallant, what are we doing? I mean, and if this season, let's say the Mets miss the playoffs, hopefully they don't. Right. Let's say that happens. Buck's gone.
You have to.
So
possibly Epler too.
Yeah, it seems like we're heading that direction, but
it's not good.
Guess we'll see if the guys who have been struggling, who will step up. He says, if you can,
Buck, replace him with Beltran.
I'm blanking here. Where did Beltran go?
Texas?
No. Because I mean, he was working with the Yankees broadcast team, but then he left to, or is he in the? Is he in the Mets organization?
I don't think so, dude.
Well, yeah, go to what is Beltran doing now? Yep.
Oh wow, he's assistant to Epler.
There you go.
Oh no, dude. That's kind of funny how he is.
We actually have a we first before we get to Al's comment, what's your thoughts on that? If they did Cam Buck going to Beltran, or would you rather go to Chavez?
I don't know, dude. I mean, I think it's kind of tough.
I mean, maybe you could get some signs going, right?
Yeah.
It would help.
I was pretty hyped when they originally had given Beltran the managing
Even
job.
though that strikeout in 06?
Yeah, even the strikeout, yeah, dude. I just thought he was someone who could, again, a little bit younger. Seems like a great clubhouse guy. We know about his antics in the clubhouse and everything. I thought he would be great for the Mets, especially for the young guys. I feel like he's someone who can be somewhat relatable, and he seems like a real down-to-earth guy. Of course, the whole cheating scandal thing came out and everything. So I don't know, dude. I don't know how I really feel about him. And the fact that he's been Epler's assistant, it doesn't seem like he has a great influence on Epler. I mean, either he's making bad decisions or he's just Epler's not listening to him. But it's like, I don't know, dude.
So, I mean, either one, you're not fully confident.
No, I'm not right
now. And then Al had another comment, a question for me here.
I'm assuming you're happy with Volpe, he says, Barnes. He came up with a big walk-off hit, but seems like he's really only good for stolen bases right now in defense.
Well, so obviously happy with all those points that you made. And I mean, he does have 7 home runs, which I think is pretty good at this point in the season. I mean, you'd think hot, cold, end somewhere around 20 home runs. The defense is great. The energy is great. And like I said earlier, I do think that average, I mean, at the minimum, I expect him to hit at least 250 this year with 20 home runs and 40 steals at least, maybe 80, 90 runs scored and playing great defense. I mean, that is all you can ask for. And the same thing applies to him as it does to Vientos, to Beatty, to eventually Mauricio. Just let him take his lumps. I mean, that's what you have to do. That's how you grow. You don't get better as a baseball player without taking your lumps and going through tough times. That's what makes you better.
Yeah, totally right. They're also saying, Beltran was the organization in the background some way. And then Alfred comes in saying, I feel like the Mets need Epler for the big Ohtani signing, which is interesting. People have talked about that a lot, but I don't know. We talked about that too, dude. I mean, look, I don't know, dude. Because it's like, what? You sign Ohtani, and then what? Then you can Epler? And then Ohtani's going to be like, what the fuck, dude?
But I don't know. I mean, it's like, are we getting too nostalgic with this? Does Ohtani care about Epler? I just almost feel like he doesn't.
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, he's still with the Angels. It's not like he was like, oh, Epler's gone, I'm going to request a trade. This is ridiculous, or whatever. Like,
he doesn't care about Epler.
I don't think he does.
I think it's overblown. I think it is, and I think it'll only help to have Epler out of there because Ohtani's sick of losing. He's sick of wasting seasons, and he sees the talent that Angels team has, and it just doesn't work out. And I mean, the way the Mets have been playing this year, I mean, their talent hasn't even been better. The Angels offense has been better,
Yeah.
So
tried another dinger.
There's some things that need to be ironed out there for sure. So
for sure, dude.
See. So what are your expectations for Stroman versus Senga?
I'm trying to remember. Stroman, honestly, since he's left the Mets, hasn't pitched terrible, and he's also pitched pretty well against the Mets.
Likes talking smack.
He likes talking a lot.
Even though
of
when
smack.
he was there, he loves them. He loves them.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He's so beat, dude.
Phony.
But I don't know, dude. I mean, again, like the Mets should know Stroman's number. Like, I want to pummel this dude. Like, he's contact hitter here. Like, you got to be smart. You got to make some adjustments. Again, honestly, I'm hoping like some of the youth, like I want to see Beatty and hopefully Alvarez is starting here at the catching position, which he should be for sure. I want to see them have big nights tonight, dude. As much as I love seeing, Alonso, hit his 18th home run, he's on pace, for 60 possibly here. So to see him get another ding would be great too. But as I said before, as I've been saying, it starts in that first inning with your starting pitcher here. Senga's got to come out dominant, like right away, dude.
Yeah.
Talked about it yesterday too. Like, his forkball has been absolute killer in his last start in Tampa Bay against the Rays, I should say. And so just keep doing it, dude. He's locating his fastball, and just again, like those two pitches have been totally lethal, dude. Like when his forkball is there, goes to his fastball. When his fastball is on it, he's painting corners, and it's it's clocking in at like 95, I think 96. So he's got the talent. He's been settled down for the most part. You're seeing a couple good starts here. Like, don't be like a Tyler McGill where you just had a great start. Now you're gonna absolutely blow it here. And get pulled out of from 3 innings. We used a few bullpen guys yesterday. We need Senga to go some length here at least 6. That's what I want. That's what I expect. Give me the Mets here with a little bit of a bounce back victory here. I'll say they beat the Cubs. I'll say 5-2.
I like it. I think the extra day of rest, bodes well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mentioned Wells versus Nestor here. I expect Nestor to have a similar performance that he did last time out. Call it 6 innings, call it 2 earned, maybe 6 strikeouts, 5 hits, 1 walk. I think he does get the victory. Keep that ERA keeps shrinking. And I think offensively off of Wells, we should be able to do some damage. Did you see the stat? I want to say it's like Aaron Judge has 38 home runs against the Orioles in like 90 games.
Oh, yeah, I did hear that, dude. Crazy.
Obviously, the team has gotten a lot better, but I mean, their pitching is still lacking. And I think the guys that are pitching well, like Tyler Wells, are pitching a little over their head. So I think pitching is still a problem, but I think he's going to hit another home run, which would be his 15th home run. Volpe is due for a big performance here. I know he walked it off last night, but in terms of hits, so I'm going to say 3 for 4, 2 doubles, 2 steals. Give me Rizzo a homer. I mean, he's always locked in at home. I think he had 3 hits last night.
Nice.
End of the day, all results in a 7-3 victory over the Baltimore Orioles, 6 in a row.
Love it, dude. What's our picks at, by the way?
Oh yeah, so
you definitely gained some ground.
I gained 1 because you went 2-1. I went 3-0, but it's 54-51.
All right, dude. Let's focus here. Next pick here. I'm gonna go, to a series that you went to last night in Oakland and Seattle. Here,
you're cheating.
I'm not cheating.
It's too easy.
It really is
too easy. Even though it was 3-2 last night. The A's
close
suck.
Game, dude. Close game.
The A's are the worst team I've ever seen.
I think they're 10-40 right now. It's the worst record in baseball at this point during the season in over like a century.
Yeah, I mean,
like
how does Mark Kotsay get up in the morning?
Unbelievable. Seattle here looking to bolster their record to a game over 500, and on the mound for Oakland, you have Ken Waldichuk, who is sporting a 6.85 ERA. Over 46 innings pitched this season is 1-3 against a youthful Bryce Miller, who's been doing pretty well, actually. 24 years old, 1.42 ERA, pitched 25 and a third innings this season, 2-1 for Seattle. So, you mentioned Kelenic yesterday. We got a nice young Miller on the mound here who, again, huge bright spot for him. In terms of maybe showcasing some talent. He has pitched against the A's this season, 6 innings of 1 earned run baseball with 10 Ks. So expect something like that out of him. Struggled a little bit against the Braves in his most recent start. Lasted 6 1/3. They'll give him 3 earned runs. Before that, Detroit, 7 innings, no earned runs. So this guy can take care of business for sure. Honestly, I really like this guy. So honestly, give me like 7 innings out of him of no earned runs, maybe giving up 3 hits, 1 walk, and I'll say 12 Ks out of him for a career high as Seattle strolls into a victory 3-0.
I am going to take the Rays to bounce back. McClanahan on the hill, and I know Buffer picked against me there. But Kikuchi, McClanahan, I mean, I think that's...
Kikuchi sucks.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the Rays are going to be fired up. I mean, to get embarrassed 20-1 last night at home, they're going to win this game. Without a doubt, McClanahan will stifle this Blue Jays offense. And I think at the end of the day, we're going to go 5-0 Tampa over Toronto. Another loss.
I think Buffer's just messing with you, dude. It's got everyone in the AL East winning.
Yeah. He's always doing stuff like that, but whatever. Third and final.
third and final. Prefer did give me a good pick yesterday though on the Dodgers though. I gotta give to him a little bit. Oh man, dude. My third and final. I guess I'll try it. I'll go with the Reds here. A little bit of an underdog, going with the Dwayne pick here. On the mound for the Reds, Ben Lively, 31 years old. He's been in the league for a few years. I remember when he was on Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He's all right. But this season, he's probably honestly pitching some of his best baseball this season. He's got 2.45 ERA, over 11 innings. I think he has like 10 Ks, I think, something like that. Anyway, he's pitching against Steven Matz, dude. Steven Matz sucks. 0 for 5 in the season, 5.05 ERA. And we know about the struggles that are going on in St. Louis. I mean, I think, against Lively here, who's been pitching pretty well. And I think the Reds can get some offense going. Maybe, Jonathan India with a nice RBI double, something like that. He also been flashing some gloves out in the field. We saw him against, the Mets play pretty well. And, of course, this is, I think, game 3 of a 4-game set. They're tied at 1 here. So they give me the Reds. I'll say they win this one. I don't know, man. 6-4. Bang.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Take it. Take it back.
I am going to go with the Angels. They are facing at home. They're facing the Red Sox. James Paxton has pitched well in his first 2 outings, but he went against a struggling Cardinals team and then the Oakland A's. So I think it'll be a little humbling here in the OC tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm expecting him to kind of get, knocked around a little bit. Tyler Anderson, terrible year after a great year with the Dodgers last year. Goes to the Angels. Of course, if you're an Angel, you can't pitch unless your name's Ohtani. But I think he's going to bounce back because Boston, we've seen how inconsistent they can be this season. So I want to say Paxton gets chased after 4. Ohtani and Trout go deep. And I think Anderson, 6 shutout innings. End of the day, you get the Angels 8-2.
You and prefer going heads up on all 3 picks.
Yeah. No, but the thing is, he said those before I said mine, and I wasn't even looking at them. That's just actually what I wanted to do.
That's sick.
Oh, yeah. Taking it. See, what is it just like he just likes to keep us on our toes because he's been picking with us recently and then he goes Orioles.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he does just firmly believe, You don't think?
I don't know. Who knows? Somebody we don't even know if Prefer's a robot. I mean, we have no idea. But yeah, let's get some New York wins tonight. Yeah, I'm pumped to watch the game later for sure. Let's go now to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here's Matthews. Scores! Hat-trick goal!
My goodness, this is a great shot. Big hit on the far side by McCarr. He flattens Jordan's skull. Oh my goodness.
Gets the top right back. Terrifying and robbed by Shesterkin. That's brilliant from Igor Shesterkin.
It's a breakaway to win it in overtime. McDavid scores the winner in overtime.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. I just to go back to baseball for a second, I was looking up Paxton. He's only had 2 starts, but he actually has the second highest velocity of his career, 96.2. So
wow.
The opposite effect of Noah Syndergaard and coming back from Tommy John at age 33, 34, kind of impressive.
Yeah. I mean, Syndergaard sucks. So.
Yeah. And I always liked Paxton, but, he always got hurt. But I did always think he had good stuff. What does he got?
Michael Theophil comes in and says, Prefer is the AI Google has been secretly creating for the last 10 years.
And then Prefer is very good at deflecting, talking about the Knights winning, which they did last night. His Stanley Cup prediction. So, he doesn't answer about the bots. So.
Well, I will say, I mean, they came in at like the same time. So,
yeah, but it's one of those things he's not going to. The only thing he ever says is the voice scrambler is ridiculous, Tony. That's the only thing we've seen him say.
I mean, the voice scrambler is a little ridiculous.
You really think so?
I don't know. Prefer, why don't you call him right now, dude? Talk about your Knights.
Oh, man. You think we'll ever get a full understanding of Prefer? Like the scenario?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How
definitely.
far away are we from that? Because he says
I think
about beating his
years.
heroes.
I think a couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
when like Sports Port's like at Citi Field, like doing
Yeah. Oh,
like games and shit.
that,
Then he's gonna be like,
they don't want to meet us. They don't want to
oh.
meet us.
And he'll definitely be like he'll know we're there. He'll probably like be in the crowd, just like watch it and not like tell us who he is.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to be disappointed by his heroes.
Yeah, exactly.
The Stars disappointment
Blow it
last night.
Blow it.
Season over here. I mean, they're down 3-0 now after a 4-0 Knights victory. Aiden Hill, Tony, 34 saves and a shutout. I think I actually did say he was going to have a shutout yesterday.
You did.
Barbashov, Petrangelo with goals, and really just a well played game by the Golden Knights here. Marchessault had his 7th. Barbashov, that was his 5th on a power play. Carrier is first, and Petrangelo is first. So, got a bunch of different guys stepping up and playing roles for this Vegas Knights team, who looks to return to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time since their inaugural season here. And boy, I mean, is this setting up to be an epic Stanley Cup Finals between the Knights and Panthers? I don't see how it's not a 7-game series.
No, yeah. For the cup, you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't either. I mean, it's gonna be ridiculous. But in terms of the Knights of Dallas, really last night, I mean, Dallas totally fucking blew it. Odinger gave up, I think, like 3 goals in the first like 8 minutes. Like there was something wrong with him, dude. He just wasn't on top of it. He wasn't on top of anything, dude. He didn't see things. He had like, I think Barbashov had like a backhanded, shot, which are always tough shots to kind of gauge, but it went like over his shoulder. You just kind of see like Odinger, like just use your glove. Like it was just so weird, dude. And then on top of that, you get Ben, Jamie Benn, who's one of your, veteran left wingers here. Gets kicked out of the game about, I don't know, I think it was like a minute and a half into the game. I don't know if you saw.
No.
He was like up along the boards, and Mark Stone, like, Jamie Benn had the puck, he passes it, Stone finishes his check, hits him into the boards a little bit, and his stick kind of gets up a little high. I think hits Ben like in the shoulder helmet area. And Ben like hits him to the ground and then like cross checks him in the face. And like his head slams on the ice. Yeah, I'll try to bring it up. But again, like he's a veteran left winger, who gets a game misconduct thrown out. You're probably gonna get suspended for the next game, and then for this game, a minute in, your team is down. Let's kill the audio here. And your team is down a winger. Your team is down a forward, and I think someone else on the Stars gets injured a few minutes later too. So you're down 2 forwards, dude. And then from then on, I mean, the Stars just couldn't get anything going. It was kind of really sad to see, honestly. Sorry. Let's see. Where is this cross check? I don't know why they couldn't just fucking. All right, we're blowing it. We're losing it. Oh, this is why. Okay, here we go. We got it, dude.
See it.
All right, so let's see it here. This is the actual play. Let's share it here. All right, so regular play is going on. I think it had already happened. Yeah, the whistle just blew. And again, he's like your captain too. He's supposed to keep it calm, cool, and collected here, dude. Obviously, whistle gets blown. So this is it right here. They show a replay. Here's Jamie Benn. Mark Stone's gonna be at the top part of your screen. Comes in, just gives a little hit.
Wow.
And then they'll show you probably a better angle of it. But he literally gets down. Yeah, here we go. Stick gets up a little high. He's like, but he gets pissed off so easily. And he slams his head into the ice, dude. Oh wow, they didn't show a good replay angle of it at all. All right, here we go. See right here, top of your screen. Bang, dude. Wow. Like right to the jaw down on the ice.
Wow.
And so it's a 5-minute major, game misconduct. Vegas goes on to score, making it 2-0 on the power play. You get tossed out of the game. You're now banned for the next game. Like you're suspended probably for the next game. It's got to be a suspension. I mean, it's so egregious, dude. Such like a stupid move, and you're starting the game like that, dude.
Yeah.
Like, look at that shit.
Yeah, that's
not good, dude.
That's horrendous.
That's really dumb. Right in front of the fucking ref. Like, I understand you're frustrated, like your team is already down like 2-0 coming in, but it's like it's not like your series was done. And because of that, at the beginning of the game, like, you're out, dude. You're out of the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, your captain gets tossed after a minute on the ice. Like,
Done.
that's so stupid, dude. So, like, obviously, you look at the rest of the game here. The Stars had some opportunities here. But a start like that is so tough to come back from. Dallas again here. They outshoot Vegas. They do a good job. They hit them hard too. They win most of their faceoffs. They were 0 for 2 in their power play though. 35 penalty minutes, giving the Knights 6 power play opportunities, one of them being a 5-minute major. It's not a recipe for success at all, dude. And so Stars like playing really dumb, a stupid loss in what, was kind of a tough start. Ottinger wasn't really, on top of his game. Definitely gave up goals he shouldn't have. But it was the first period. It was 10 minutes in, dude. You were down like 3-0, I think, 10 minutes in. And it's like, you can come back from that, dude. Like, the Dallas Stars is early on enough. You have enough talent. You can come back from that. Wedgwood only ended up giving up one other goal for the rest of the game. And the Knights go on to win 4-0. Kind of tough, dude. You got to figure out a way to keep it cool, keep your heads. If I'm a Vegas Golden Knight right now, I know I'm in your head. And we're going into a game 4 where you could get swept. It's in the bag right now. Like, your mental game is there is no mental game right now. Like, Vegas is in your heads and you can't handle it right now. So it's really tough to see from Dallas. But obviously, if you're a fan of Vegas, I mean, you gotta be pretty happy about that, dude. Adin Hill, I mean, what another tremendous storyline that's coming out of sports, let alone just the NHL playoffs here. First postseason shutout, dude, for him. Gotta love to see that. But yeah, definitely tough if you're a Dallas fan. I know I was rooting for them for this series. It's not over yet, obviously. But yeah, like I said, looking pretty dim.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say it's over, and I think the same thing applies for the game tonight. I don't know. I think after losing the way that the Hurricanes have lost these first 3 games, I don't know how you rally the troops. It's got to be so defeating. And
then
like we talked about,
gone.
Florida, I mean, they're raring to go.
Mm-hmm.
They're just on this destined run, Tony. I mean, I honestly think the Hurricanes could potentially let up a little bit, and it could be like a 5-1 Panther victory. Maybe Kachuk with 2 goals. Kachuk.
Yeah, I could see that, dude.
Yeah.
But it would make for a great Stanley Cup, and I'm really excited to watch it, honestly.
Yeah.
Love the Stanley Cup, dude.
Yeah. You can't beat it.
You really can't.
Unless the Rangers are in it, then it makes it a little better.
Speaking of the Rangers, though, Befur wants to know our thoughts on the Rangers playing at MetLife. I think the Rangers are supposed to play. Yeah, Rangers or Islanders are playing outdoor, and then I think the Devils and the Flyers play as well there.
Love it.
I think it's gonna be dope. They're gonna play in February, so we gotta figure it out, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to go. I would imagine that. Well, maybe that it's a bigger venue. The tickets aren't that bad. I don't know.
I mean, they probably will be. I will tell you from people I know. I know some guys who went to Citi Field when the Rangers play there for the Winter Classic, and I mean, it's not obviously a hockey arena, so it's not like the field. The rink is down there, and you're in the seats.
Yeah,
so it's like it's not a great visual experience to watch.
Better on TV.
It is way better on TV, but I have been told that you don't go necessarily just to be able to watch the game well, but you go for the actual experience, which is a tremendous experience right here.
Yeah. Yes, we'll have to.
So I'd love to go to MetLife and do that, dude.
Cross the T's, dot the I's.
We can figure it out. We got time, February, dude.
Yeah. No, I'd love to do that. Absolutely. So, it'll be interesting to see. And the only other thing I was going to say here, you like how Befur just didn't respond to anything I was saying about the AI and the bot and
basically Michael says he does that now. I think in regards to watching us, he says he probably lives across the street from Barnes, watches his every move.
And he did say he's a fat Chinese guy in his 50s.
In his 50s, he said, but he also says I'm going to go to MetLife and get loaded.
He's going to get loaded at MetLife. And then did we miss the Pete Alonso air hump comment?
Oh, I think we did, dude.
Yeah. He'd asked if Foosball Tony is going to hump the air.
Yeah. He says if the Mets win tonight, would Foosball Tony air hump like Pete Alonso celebrate? Sure, dude.
Yeah, you're all for it, right? Helping the community.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Hyping everyone up, dude. That's what I'm there for, dude. Matthew. Wow, Matthew's here. He goes, I thought you were a recovering alcoholic, Befur.
Did he actually say that?
I don't recall. Can't let you go and get loaded, bro. I don't know where Matthew's getting that from.
No, but that's kind of funny, honestly. You hammered. You got a beer in your hands. Other than potentially giving Craig O a shot at 8:30, is there anything else that's that you wanted to mention, Tony?
No, not really, dude. You think Hurricanes?
No, it
Swept.
I mean, maybe 6-1. I mean, maybe. Right?
Yeah.
There's no hope. It's a shame because they had a very good opportunity, really all 3 games. But I don't see how you come back from this.
I can't believe it, dude.
I know.
The Panthers, Kachuk. I mean, if you're Calgary, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, what a shitty end of that deal that you got. Giving
And
up
it
Kachuk.
seemed like you were almost getting the better player.
Yeah.
Purdue, but then Kadri was disappointing. So tough sledding for sure. Prefer with the binoculars.
Spying on Barnes and Co. in the condo. That's weird. But first says loaded with hot dogs. Michael's on to something, says Matthew. Hot dogs. You should race Joey Chestnut this year in the contest. Get ready for the Stadium Series.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, you love the hot dog eating contest every.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. It's great. But you know what else is great? The show. And I really appreciate everybody. You know, there was a lot of comments today.
Oh yeah,
likes, subscriptions. We encourage you guys to keep doing that, as well as checking out the archives on the YouTube page.
Oh yeah.
Tony, Michael, Renee in costume, all the episodes of Sportsport, Dream is Free, Screen Time, Gaming Corner, all the vlogs, the Mighty Morphin Power Plumbers, as well as the Yankee Stadium vlog. We encourage you to check all of that out, as well as the Spring Collection, Jim Nantz, In the Air, downtimetv.com. We want everybody to enjoy the day. Let's go Yankees. For Tony's sake, let's go Mets.
Yeah,
and
baby.
we will see you mañana.
Oh, almost missed it.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.